Alright, this is Homework Help Part 2 for the back part of Lesson 7 problem set on rounding numbers to the thousands place. Let's take a look at the first problem here. Again, to understanding any problem is making sure you comprehend all the information that's given to you. So let's read it one time through. It says a pilot wanted to know about, that's key, about how many kilometers. And a kilometer is a measurement of distance. And he flew on his last 3 flights. So we want to know about how many kilometers he flew on his last 3 flights. Well, he flew from New York to London. He flew 5,572 kilometers. Okay, so we can say from New York to London, he flew 5,572. That's a 7. Then he flew from London, and I'm going to abbreviate that, London to Beijing, B. He flew 8,147 kilometers. And then he flew from Beijing back to New York, in Y. And that was 10,996 miles. Alright, so that's all the information they give us, but now they tell us they want us to round each number to the nearest thousand. So we're focusing in on the thousands place, so the thousands in this, and the thousands and the thousands. And then once we round them, then find the sum. The sum is the answer to an addition problem of the rounded numbers, not the original numbers, but the rounded numbers, to estimate about how many kilometers he flew. Alright, so the first thing we have to do that first is ask us to round each of these numbers. So let's take the first one here, and we have, if we use our vertical number line to help us, we're at 5,000, and the next 1,000 up would be 6,000. So the halfway point between these two would be 5,500. So where would we place 5,572? Well, we know it's just a little bit more than 5,500. So we would put it here, 5,572. It's 72 more. So it is closer to 6,000. Let's look at 8,147. Let's put another vertical number line with 2 endpoints. We're starting here at 8,000. So the next 1,000 up would be 9,000. Good. And then the midpoint between the two would be 8,500. Well, if we put 8,147, well, 100 is certainly less than 500. So 8,100 would be close down here to 8,000. So 8,147 to the nearest 1,000 would be closer to 8,000. Last but not least, we want to find out how far this about. So we're going to round to the nearest 1,000. So we're starting at 10,000, and we're counting by ones. So what would be the next 1,000 up? Of course, you're right. It would be 11,000. And in between would be 10,500. Okay, so we're with 10,996. Well, there's 900. So 900 is more than 500. It would be almost to 11,000. So 10,996 would be close to 11,000. Okay. Now we're still not done because it said then find the sum. So if we add all these up, one of the things that we can do is make sure that we add out all our place values correctly. So let's make sure we write them down. So 6,000, and then I have 8,000s, and then I have 11,000s. I'm counting all thousands. So if I add each place value, those are all zeros. 6 plus 8 plus 1, that's 14, that's 15, which gives us another 10,000, so 25,000. So the sum of all his 3 flights is 25,000 kilometers. Okay. All right, let's go to the next question. Mrs. Smith's class is learning about healthy eating habits. The students learn that the average child should consume about 12,000 calories each week. Carrie consumed, that means ate or took in, 12,748 calories last week. Tyler consumed 11,702 calories last week. It says round to the nearest thousand, there we go, to the nearest thousand, to find who consumed closer to the recommended number of calories. Okay, we can use pictures, numbers, and words to explain. So let's look at Carrie first. Okay, and Carrie's actual amount is 12,748. Okay. Then we also have Tyler, who ate 11,702 calories. Okay. So let's take a look at each of these. So if we did Carrie's on a vertical number line, again we're rounding to the nearest thousand, so we're at 12,000. The next thousand would be 13,000. Okay. Directly in between would be 12,500. Why? Because again we're still dealing with thousands, so half of 1,000 is 500. So in between is 12,500. So where would we put Carrie's number? Well, we see that Carrie ate 12,700. Well, this is 12,500, so we know that 700 is more. So 12,748. And so the amount that Carrie ate to the closest or nearest thousand is 13. Okay? So Carrie's is close to 13. Okay? Let's look at Tyler. Tyler's consumed 11,700. So we'll start at 11,000. Okay? And the next thousand is 12,000. Okay? In between is 11,500. Okay. So we have 11,702. We know there again that's at 700. There's 11,500. So 11,702 would be up here in this area, which is closer to 12,000. So Tyler consumed approximately or about 12,000. Well, the question was, who consumed closer to the recommended number of calories? Well, Tyler rounded to 12,000 and Carrie 13, and the recommended is 12,000. So Tyler is the one that was closest to the recommended. All right, let's take a look at the last question. It says the cost of tuition at Cornell University is $43,000 per year when rounded to the nearest thousand. What is the greatest possible amount the tuition could be? What is the least possible amount the tuition could be? Well, I'm going to leave that one for class tomorrow for our discussion. So do your best, see what you can come up with on this challenging problem. I'll see you tomorrow in class. Don't forget, practice this multiplication facts for your timed test tomorrow.